Greetings guys, a warm welcome. Hey, happy new year. And Scorpio, this is your reading, the first of the year for 2019. So we hop into that January month and the new vibrational energy of a year that resonates to 12, which also breaks down to 3. So if you listened to my readings in December, I talked a lot about intention setting back then, and now it's time to activate those intentions. So January is a great month for bringing in activation in many different ways in your life as well. So it's something worth working for. I also decided to do some intuitive work for you, and I will give you those little messages in a minute. We will be using 3 different decks of cards. This first one is the John Holland Tarot deck. There's just one card from there, and what it is going to do is a kind of like a background energy for the whole year. So you can choose to decipher how you want to utilize it, whether you want to learn from it or change it or add to the background energy in your life with it. So depending on the card that arrives will depend on how you wish to utilize the energies of it. We will then have 4 from the Morgan Greer Tarot and then 1 from an angel deck as well. So your little mantra that you got was every experience I have benefits me. I am in the process of positive change. You also got the number 9. So the 9s are like an end of cycle. They are also about expansion into the more global perspective of life as opposed to focusing on ourselves. So we can become more humanitarian, more community oriented and more earth oriented when we have that number 9 around us. You also got this little phrase. It said radiate health, happiness, prosperity and peace of mind. And with that came the number 8, which is the manifestation number, which is also relates to the colour red and the base chakra energy centre of your body. So there's a whole lot there that you can think about and utilise even before the reading starts. You can choose to write that mantra down to keep it with you in your wallet or post it on your fridge door or under your pillow. They can be really beneficial for you because they give off such positive vibrations. So let's start your shuffling. I will be taking from the 9th card down because that was the main or the first number that you received. So this is for Scorpio for January 2019. So let's just get some of your energy in these cards for Scorpio. One more, and then that's going to do it. Okay, and from the 9th one down. Here we are, number 9. Oh wow, that is beautiful. So it is number 1. In essence, it is the Ace of Wands, and it is called Passion Ignited. So, you know, when I said you've got the number 9, and I said 9s are about the endings, after an ending always comes a beginning, and that's the cycle of life, the flow. So I think whenever anyone kind of feels a bit despondent about an ending, they should focus on the fact that there is always a beginning coming after it. Now that ace is a beautiful one to receive. You can see the passion from her heart flowing out and adding creativity and vibrancy. I mentioned before in a couple of the other readings, and it's a good thing for you guys to check your moon and rising signs as well. But this is really interesting. It's the very beginning of a new year, and interestingly enough, there have been so many aces that have come out. Now normally aces can go for months and months and months and you just won't see them at all. And yet with different decks being used, I'm getting different aces from all around the place. So the vibrational essence is telling us there's new opportunities coming for this year of 2019. And even if you're in a situation where you feel as though you don't think there might be, or you feel stuck or in a glitch phase, you've got to look beyond it. You've got to push yourself into thinking or accepting or pondering upon the fact that there is new awareness and new growth coming. I'll just make it so that that card is a little bit closer for you to actually kind of focus on. When I wind it in too close, you'll either get the words in focus, which we've seen, passion ignited. But if we take it a little bit more to the artwork, I think it's worth looking at. So any ace is an exciting proposition, as I said. It bodes new opportunities. Now the Ace of Wands, which is what this one is, can often be associated with creative ideas, passions, inspiration, the surge of something coming in through the concept of thought in particular, and in the manner of sometimes a project. Now the wands can also affect our careers or our job type life, or if you're not in a career perspective in life, if you're either still studying like in a university or you're retired, it affects those parts like the creative resources of your life, your hobbies, your passions. So it feels as though for many of you, you're starting a new idea, a new concept, a new realm, and something could be very exciting in this for you, dynamic. I mean, look at the bliss on her face and look at the radiance and the energy emanating from her heart chakra. So the heart chakra is where we feel our emotions and our love from as well. Some of you may find that there is love coming in. This could be the love of a new romantic partner, so it could be quite passionate and, you know, sort of wow, blow you off your feet. Or it could be the love, the gentle love of becoming a mother for the first time, or a grandmother, or a grandfather, or a father. Or you might find that you have just someone new walks into your life who gives this feeling of deep connection. It could also be a new pet coming your way for some people. There's been a big change in the dynamics of pets probably over the last 10 years or so. They have become much more profoundly connected to us as we have merged and grown closer to the animal kingdom and come to be able to bond with them at a closer level. So there's many more different perspectives of the aces, but it generally says new beginnings, new passion, new creativity, projects and ideas. For some of you, this could be a new business that is forming, or a new career opportunity, advancement, pay rises, new jobs. You've applied for them, you get an interview, you get an offer, all of those possibilities as well. So I guess we will now move the lens back out a little bit, and we will move into the tarot cards for you and see what's coming your way. So I will just back that off a little and put this card away. But a great start, you guys, for 2019 and for your new year. As I say, there have been a lot of aces around. So this is for Scorpio for 2019 for January. Just getting your intention in the cards, Scorpio. The first card is the Hierophant, and he's reversed. So we will see what that is telling us. The next one is Temperance, and she is the right way up. Two major arcanas to begin with, guys. The next one is the Ten of Cups, and that one is also reversed. And the fourth one is the World, another major arcana, and that one is the right way up. So all up, you've had an ace and three major arcanas. So I'm just going to shift those a little bit so we can actually get a better look at them, and I will come in a little bit closer for you. Okay, these cards could be interpreted as being one for each week of the month, but I feel that the time span is a little bit more fluid than that. So you can feel into how they're reacting with you and when they sort of turn up for the month. But we will start with the card on the left, which is the Hierophant reversed, and work from there. When we take into context all of these cards as a bundle or a parcel, if you like, they are actually talking more like a storyboard than individual cards. So they've merged together quite strongly. And I think what's the main merging is the fact of those two reversed cards turning up. You know, traditionally the upright Hierophant talks about being in the social norms and protocols of society and life, and he often says to us, you know, follow a rigid dogma or societal rules, and don't break the boundaries and don't test the strengths of anything out. But when he's reversed, he's actually saying to you, maybe it's time that you took a few steps on your own, you know, like the tentative baby when it starts walking and when it starts to figure out its world from its own perception, not from the perception of others. And it's kind of like that with the reversed Hierophant. He's sort of saying, you could have felt for the last while, and this could be going back over years now, that you have been held either responsible or in control by others, and it's not allowed you to be your true self. So there's a possibility here that this could be a year for you, and I'm saying year because we started off with such passion and fire with that Ace of Wands, and she's about this heart energy and love and feeling, you know, connection to source and creativity. And then you get this reversed Hierophant. It's almost like you're saying something is enough. You've had enough. It's time to change direction. It's time to be the real you. It's time to stand up and let people see who you are without being kept underground or being kept bounded or into some rigid structure. So this reversed Hierophant, because, you know, normally upright he's got his two fingers up and he's saying, hold on, do as I say, you know, there are rules here and don't break them. Well, you're breaking them by turning him upside down immediately. And those keys at the bottom of him, at his feet, you know, he holds dominion over those keys. Usually he sort of says, I will give you the freedom when I feel you've earned it. Well, now the keys are at the top of the card, and they're falling away from him. So he hasn't got the dominion of unlocking something. It feels like it's a lot freer. So this could be your year for saying, yep, I'm going to be me. I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to be my aspiration. I want to look into what I believe in, not what someone else has told me to believe in. And then we get the Temperance card next door to it, and that sort of androgynous angel there talks very much about balance is required. So even if you are stepping out and are about to make some changes in perspectives or dynamics or belief systems or even relationships, this can be any relationships, they're asking you to still temper it, you know, to do it with, well, perhaps, I don't know if slow pace is what I'm trying to say, but you've got to pace it out. You have to balance it logically and emotionally at the same time, because that is what the Temperance card talks about. So she definitely talks about balancing our emotions in particular. And when you go through something like a massive change of your belief systems or your integrity values, or a relationship change, or a religious change in your mind, you know, you can flip a whole lot of switches. It's like tripping out a switchboard in a house. So you have to be gentle about it, and you have to be careful which ones you choose to trip out and phase out of, and that's what Temperance is telling you. It's also suggesting that you spend some time with nature and outdoors and by bodies of water. And if you're in the northern hemisphere and it's a little bit cold up there and you think, God, I'm not going outside in minus 30 degrees or something, you can go out for a short while and just feel that invigoration of being alive in that really cold climate. It's still invigorating. If you're lucky enough at this time of the year to be where it's somewhere beautiful and warm and the flowers are blooming, then spend that time outdoors and connect with Mother Nature. We come to this next card and we see the 10 of Cups upside down. Now again, traditionally this card, when it's upright, is such a beautiful omen of love and support and caring and happiness and family values and morals and ethics. So when it's reversed, it can be saying that you are contemplating what does a loving relationship mean for you. So rather than building relationships with others, you might be focusing your attention inward so that you can gain clarity from what you want or what you believe a relationship should hold for you. So whether or not there has been one around you, or there has been some sort of family relationship that you are now questioning either its values or its support for you, or whether there has been enough support, or whether it has been constricted and you are now thinking, yeah, nah, I don't want that. I want a truthful support, or I want an open support, or I want them to understand me more. These are all these messages that seemed to, when I thought about it, come forth with these reversed cards and the way they are interlinking each other. So the message kind of went from the Hierophant through and right through to this upturned Ten of Cups. So they're quite powerful given that ace in the beginning as well. It feels as though some of you are, which is going to make sense when I get to the World, but it feels like some of you are graduating from a life degree, from a life of being either shaped or formed or controlled or held by something or someone else other than perhaps yourselves. So as I said, I think this could be a really big year for you. And that we do have eclipses at the beginning of the year. I think we have one in January. So again, eclipses can be very cathartic energy times where we are deeply and profoundly affected at the personal level, and every one of us can be affected differently. And how it has its displacement on you, only you will know and understand the effect. And sometimes it takes months for us to look back and go, God, I get it. That's what was happening at that time of the year. So if we come to that World card, it's a beautiful card to see, and it's the card of completion. She has two scrolls in her hand, and they almost feel as if they are the scrolls of life. She has got diplomas or degrees in something, and she's celebrating them, and in that she obtains this huge freedom because there she is without any great clothing on. So it feels as if restriction has been lifted from her life, and often in a very creative way, like a personal freedom, a creative freedom, and a sexual freedom even, because she wears very little on. So this is the cycle of completion. It could very well be considered that number 9, which we talked about before, feeling as though for some time you have learnt a lot in life and gained the knowledge to take forth with you as you traverse new realms of living. And this can even be leaving home, it can be leaving a country and going overseas. So this is why this whole storyboard here is so interconnected and weaving through. Some of you could be going on an overseas trip. It might be a holiday for, just like a pleasure holiday. And for others of you, it might be more involved in going, like a life's journey. So going to a new country to live for the first time. You might be going overseas to work. And some of these, the little 4 heads that we have there, represent different zodiac signs. Some of these people that you come across might become firm friends in life, and even lovers or potential new soulmates as well. So the World card holds great excitement and great awareness of moving forward. Even though it's a card of completion, it's a card of movement, definitely, because it represents travel, but it represents travel at a whole holistic level, so travel of life's journey. So you see, it turns out it's a really powerful reading, and there's certainly a lot going on in this storyboard. And I'm pleased at the beginning when I said I don't feel that the cards are designated for each week of the month, but some people would like to interpret it that way, and that's fine. I felt it right from when I started doing these with Capricorn that it was a much more integrated reading. So there we are, Scorpio. That's a really in-depth, powerful reading, and we knew it would be when we saw the 3 major arcanas and an ace, but also with the 2 reversals, because they can be so, you know, indicative to us and they can tell such a different story. So we'll put those away and move into one of the angel cards for you. This is the last card of the reading, and again this will be from the 9th one down. So we'll just see what your final message is. One more. Okay, and from the 9th one down. Well, and that's another really lovely card to end up with. So that is entrepreneur, and let me just see if I can focus it. You'll see the words focused for a little bit. I'll read them to you. Self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure your success in all ways. So there's not really too much that needs to be said in terms of this card. Let me just focus again for you on the picture so you can see the artwork a little bit better, because the colours are really divine. So some of you are contemplating or have contemplated or pondered it, you know, could I be my own boss? Could I start a business? Now that very first card that you received is also indicative of contemplating things like a new business or new awareness or new beginnings. So there's a tie-in right from the beginning to the very end. For those of you who are contemplating it or who have, you could make very successful business owners or start your own business. Some of you may even have the project in mind of a new concept to begin. So you might have been employed by someone, but you've got these ideas brewing away and you know, projects on your mind. For others it might be more you know, sort of lateral, in that you could be working for a company but you know you could do this yourself and do it quite well. And so you might think, oh, go out and see if there's a smaller one for sale, or I could start a small company that does the same thing. So there are ideas and concepts in the air for you to grab at the beginning of this year. So don't be afraid to put your thinking cap on and to really ignite your passions and your ideas and projects and bring them all into some sort of boiling pot of activity. Because some of you will go forth and connect this, and either, you know, it doesn't have to be starting a new business, but this could be a new idea for a company. So you might sell an idea for a company. You could have an invention that kicks off. You could have something that is trademarked that becomes yours, that you make money from. There are many different concepts of the entrepreneur realm as well. So as I say, it doesn't have to mean categorically that you are working for yourself, but that you could be providing ideas or inventions or projects to others that you reap rewards for, whether it be financial payment or some sort of accolade or acknowledgement. So a wonderful reading, I think, for you guys, Scorpios. I'd have to say that's probably one of the more powerful, passionate and really positive ones we've seen for a while. So get on board that horse and ride it and enjoy it. Thanks all for joining the video and liking and subbing it, and thanks for listening. I wish you all a very happy new year wherever you are watching this from, and may you be, you know, excited with much passion and fire and change for your life as the year evolves. So check your moon and rising sign, and thank you all again. Much love. Namaste.